going to make a fig. Now I have some purple marzipan already, but it was a little bit too deep. So I'm going to take it and add a little bit of plain marzipan in there and work that in so it has a little bit more of a closer to a fig color. Figs can be deep. You can also do figs in green because they come in different colors. But I want this to look a little different from my blueberries on my plate. I don't want them to be exactly the same color. So I'm making it a slight bit lighter. And if I wanted to, I could incorporate a little bit of green just to give it some striations or a little hint of color there, which I think I'm going to try to do here. So again, start off with a ball, and then in between my hands, as we've done before, going to just begin to shape it. I want the neck to be a little bit narrower. And it's going to be similar to what you did for your pear. Only thing, we're going to make sure that the head of it really comes over the way a fig does. We're going to tip it on its side, and we're also going to use our knife just to give it a little bit of impression. Because our figs do have some lines in them, and you can make them fairly deep so that they read well. Bend our tip over nicely. And there you have a fig. I already have dyed marzipan. Now, you don't have to dye all of your marzipan for what you may want to use. You can make them plain and then airbrush them. But a lot of times if you're going to use them on a cake, you want to go ahead and have the dye. It makes it a lot easier to apply. So we have, again, another simple shape, which is round. I'm going to make these nice, large, Bing-sized cherries. You can deepen the color by either adding more food coloring to it, but also airbrushing it will also give you a deep color. And whenever you're going to airbrush anything, you always want to make sure, like painting a wall, that there's a base color so that you can get the intensity. So right there, nice rounds. Again, keep your hands flat. And as you're working, you'll see that the oils of the marzipan will come up. That's okay. Just have a towel there to dry your hands off. And then, again, if you don't have special marzipan modeling tools, you don't need them. You can just use skewers or things at home. So right here, I'm going to put a small indentation right in the top on all three. This is going to let me know where my cherries are going. And we can use again that vanilla bean, and I'll take it and I'm going to cut it in half, or take the half rather and cut it in quarters. And of course, save your seeds if you have any. And I'm going to separate it slightly and press that right into my cherries. And there, I already have my cherries on a stem, Just as easy as that. And then the third one, you just put a partial stem in. And there you have your cherries. So first we're going to take some green marzipan, and we can use green for everything. And the first thing we're going to do is make our peas. So you'll decide how big your peas are and make those same size 3 pieces for your peas. And I'm going to make mine a little smaller to save for my outside, to make sure I have enough for my outside. They don't have to be exactly the same size. Three circles again. As I said to you before, you're going to be working off of circles and teardrops and ovals for most of your marzipan fruits. Then I'm going to take my marzipan. I'm going to roll this piece out. I don't need that plastic anymore. So my 3 peas. Roll this out. Sometimes you might need to knead it a little bit just to get it to behave. And I'm going to create the pod. So I want it to be fairly thin. I don't want it to look clunky. I need it to be wide enough for my peas. So you can see as I'm rolling that I will roll and then take my spatula and go underneath. That's to make sure that my marzipan doesn't stick, and when I get it to the thickness I want, that I can't keep it from sticking so much that I can't pick it up. So take your time, be patient with it. It's worth it in the end. So I just want to make sure I have enough space that my peas are going to be able to be encapsulated, but not completely. So you can see right there, that's the start of where my pod is going to be. That looks pretty good. So now I want to cut it so that it has nice even ends. I'll use my knife, and I'll start from here, kind of create a leaf shape, flatten it, and come down to the end. And always with your marzipan, what's ever left over, save it. And I don't want to make it too narrow. So it's like creating a leaf shape. I have to flatten this just a little bit more at the top so it doesn't hide my pod altogether, my peas altogether rather. And then I'll put my 3 peas in, bring my sides up, and then pinch the ends and there I have 3 peas in a pod. Have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed class, and we'll see you next time.